how to stay productive when you're working from home. During this coronavirus situation, you're at home and it's so easy to get distracted. So I want to share with you some of the ways I stay productive, because time is so important, especially when you're running a business and you're minding kids. Every minute of the day really counts. So I want to share with you some tips on how to stay productive. Hey everybody, it's Linh Podetti here and welcome to my channel. On this channel, I'm here to help you with time and financial freedom, because those are the two things that I aspire to have, and I've achieved it, and I'm here to share it with you. Now, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell button so that you get notification for when I put my videos up. Okay, so the first thing I want to share in terms of being productive is avoid multitasking. So I've been guilty of this thing, multitasking, where I feel like I'm more efficient if I'm doing something, and while I'm waiting for something, I'm doing something else and doing this and doing that. And what happens that I've realized is that I'm actually not getting faster, because I'm just switching my brain from doing this task and then doing that task and doing that task. I'm actually going a bit slower actually, because by the time you change from this to that, your brain takes a while to adjust. But the next thing that I realized of years of multitasking is that it increases my stress level. So when you are jumping from this task to that task, first of all, you might forget that you were in the middle of doing this task. And then so you don't even get this task done right. But the fact that you jump from one to that, you're keeping your brain confused and so busy that you end up not doing any of the tasks as effective and efficient as you would have. So one of my challenges that I'm working on right now, which you should too, to be productive, is really focus. When you're working on something, focus. When you're working on the task, don't look at your phone, don't start going on Facebook and then go, and you're not going to be able to provide great quality work. If you're working for an employer, this is a vital time for you to prove yourself, because a job is not safe anymore. And unless you're a great worker, your employer is not going to keep you around. So do treasure your job and do the best job. And at the end of the day, it's your reputation. Like, whether or not you like your job or not, you should always do the best that you can as a person. Now, if you own your own business, it's even more vital. You've started a business to work for yourself, to succeed. And if you waste your time being distracted, multitasking while you're waiting for a video download, you're like looking at your phone doing something else, or you're just feeling like by being busy, you're being productive, you're not. So step one is, let's try not to multitask, but do single tasks and do it well. And then allow your brain to kind of settle and stay calm, because in those moments of rest, it's better for your brain than it is to keep them busy. Batching of tasks. So for example, at my business, we use Slack. It's like a Skype channel. And but the best part about it is I'm allowed to kind of press save. And so what I'm talking about this is, imagine you get all these emails, right? You don't want to sit there and start responding to this email and then that email, and then another email comes and then you jump to that. What you really need to do is, as emails are coming through, you could quickly look and see who it's about, but then you add it to your to-do list, add to tasks. Like on Gmail, you're able to add it to tasks so that you could deal with the batch of emails later on. So then what happened is, you should dedicate a certain time in your day where you're actually checking your emails, for example. Or for me, I dedicate a certain time of the day where I'm actually checking all my Slack messages. So during the day, I get all these messages from my team. And if I keep on responding to this, I'm going to sit there responding to all these emails and messages that aren't even important. And so the best thing to do is save it, put it in an area so that you could look at it in one go. So then, for example, with emails, rather than checking every single minute of the day, you have a certain time. Maybe it's 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour at the end. You turn off your email. You don't leave your email on your desktop. You close it, and you set yourself a calendar time to actually check that email. So during that 1 hour is when you go through your emails and answer and do everything that you can, and you stop there. Then you do it for another hour. So it's really important to batch it, to not react to tasks and messages that are sent to you, but it's saving it and doing all at once, which will really free up your brain. You will be able to be working on more urgent and important things rather than reacting to very mundane, unimportant tasks. The next tip I have for you is having a must-do list for today. So when we have a to-do list, I have a to-do list. I add everything that I could think of. I'm driving somewhere, looking at something, and I think of, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. I just add everything in a to-do list. But this is not the list where I start to action. Every single morning, I have a must-do list, and I really think about, okay, today, what do I really need today that is most important for me? I look at my to-do list and really prioritize what is the most important thing I can get through today. And I end up picking only maybe 2 or 3 things, and I move it to today's must-do list. And so today, my focus is really on these important tasks. Because what happens all these years in business is that I wasted so much time. I love the habit of being able to tick off things, Cool, I've done this, done that, and that. I feel so proud that I've just been really busy and ticking tasks. And I didn't take for a moment there to think, was that task really important? And so every day I really think carefully, what is the most important task that is going to be the biggest impact? It's usually the calling up some sort of potential client or partner or something that is really important, because everything else becomes like kind of some days when I've put on all those important tasks and I get through it, then I can actually look at some of my other to-do tasks and see if I feel like doing some other little tasks, and that I feel like I can fit in. And so what happens when you're thinking specifically in that morning and picking your task is that you're being more strategic, you're picking the harder tasks. And because remember, if you don't spend your early time in the day doing those hard things, you're not going to have that energy to focus on a harder task later. And a lot of people are guilty, including myself, for many years, just putting as many tasks as possible, not prioritizing what's important. And I actually was choosing the easiest task to do first because it was easier. Like, I'll just do this or this, because then I get to tick as many tasks in my to-do list. So my challenge for you is have 2 lists, to-do list and a must-do list for today, and really only pick a few and do those before you're looking into the rest of your to-do list. It's not about how many tasks you can get done. It's how many quality tasks that you do that makes the biggest impact to your life. What is going to bring you the most result? More money, more time, better life. Now, my next tip for you is that you need to really pre-plan your day. So, for example, in my business, one of my responsibilities to do videos or to do LinkedIn lead generation, etc. And so if I just allow my calendar to be open and people booking in meetings with me, I will never find time to actually do the thing that I plan to do. So I pre-plan those tasks as if I'm booking myself a meeting. So if I need to do YouTube videos, I actually pick 2 hours, each week, and I start to look at my calendar for the next month and go, okay, I'm going to pick out Thursday to do that and do that. And I pre-plan it all so that it's set in stone, that I'm never going to always prioritizing someone else's meeting and then forgetting that I needed to do this. Because if you don't schedule it in and pre-plan it, you're always going to push it and procrastinate and then feel like, oh, but something else is going to come, something else is going to come. And so those weeks that I don't schedule it in, I just know that I end up not having time to do the thing that I said I was going to do. So whenever I actually make it serious, like, okay, that's it, I really need to plan it properly and put in those hours in advance. I'm not talking about, okay, today let's just put 2 hours in. I'm talking about pre-planning weeks in advance so that it becomes part of your schedule, and then you know that you'll be committed to doing those work. Also, for example, I know that I want to take some time off with the kids and I don't want to work certain days, so I block it all out in advance on all those days, right? And so yeah, those things are obviously a bit more obvious because you want a day off, so you're going to block it off. But what are the important tasks that you want to do each week and you want to dedicate to it? Because if you say to yourself, all right, I'm going to spend 1 hour a week creating some Instagram images and whatever, but if you don't put it in, you're always going to wait until you're really free to be able to do something, and you end up not being motivated, you procrastinate. So how about you actually schedule it in, it's all block out. So if someone needs to make a meeting with you, well, unfortunately, they can't book that meeting at that time with you because that's your time to do that particular work. Now, I do that exact same idea for when I'm planning out my fitness regime. So it's not that when I'm free today, I'm going to exercise. There is a calendar meeting for me to exercise between 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Between that time, I either meditate and journal, but I have to exercise that time. So I block that every single day. It's in my calendar. It's not I'll exercise when I feel like it. It's part of it. So I hope I made that point clearly. Block out your time, schedule it in, pre-plan it way in advance. Finally, if you're working from home and you're new to working from home, you probably might not have a proper workstation. So for a lot of years, I actually didn't work efficiently at home. So a lot of time I was in my PJs and I was working on the dining table, and then sometimes I moved to the bedroom and I moved to whatever. And guess what? It really does create that kind of mindset of laziness. So I was procrastinating a lot more. I was distracted a lot more. I was kind of chilling out or start to, go into my phone doing other things. But now I really take my work, even working from home, very seriously. That means when I wake up, I have a certain time I wake up, I put on my makeup, I put on better clothes on the top, like on the bottom, it's always, track pants, it doesn't matter, but I look appropriate. And then I have a workstation, so I have a desk. I go there and work. When you sit in your workstation, on your desk, you will feel more like in a work mode. But if you ever sit in other places like your bedroom, you're creating a mood of tiredness. You want to sleep. It's too cozy. And so if you're new to working from home, set a workstation. But the next tip is, I know a lot of people also feel slack and just, kind of look like they're homies. And I did that for many years. But what happens when you just, sometimes I haven't brushed my teeth or go shower, you just have that, you created this feeling and environment of feeling tired. And the thing about working online now is you're going to be able to do more Zoom meetings, because you have to do more Zoom meetings and catch up online. If you're not ready for it, you're always going to be like, oh, my video's not working and I can't do it. But as much of visual contact as you can is most important. So if you're having Zoom meetings with your people, it's important to put on a camera. It's important to show yourself. And it's even more important to be presentable and to feel confident. Whenever I put makeup on and set my day right now, I feel really good. For many years, I didn't do that. So you need to learn from my mistake, is that take your work serious, even if it's at home. Have a designated place to work. Dress up as much as you can as if you're going to work, because then you put on that work mode and you feel motivated to do things. So for example, I create more videos. I do more stories for my social media because I'm looking presentable. I go on Zoom more. I reach out to leads and clients and go, hey, do you want to catch up for a meeting? And I'm ready to go because I'm already dressed up for it. So those are all of my tips. If you found it interesting, let me know in the comments below. But if you have any questions for me, I would love to hear from you, because I love to make videos to share it with you. And so if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell button. And until then, don't forget to do what you love. Thank you, guys.